to my channel. I'm Afia, so let's just get right into it. So today, as you can see, I wanted to kind of talk about how to get over your trust and betrayal issues. So you know, when I was going through my situations, I didn't necessarily have like a guideline of like tips or like ways I could overcome, you know, some of my obstacles or some of the situations that I had to go through. You know, of course I had the support from my friends, but ultimately I had to go within and kind of do the work. So yeah, let's just jump into the first one. So the first one I think is communication. I think it's extremely important for you to you know, whenever you feel something or whenever you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to speak up and say something. First things first, don't be petty, don't do all the extra stuff. Just say, you know, hey, what's going on? Take care of a situation, you know, easily. Because, you know, 9 times out of 10, if it is that your partner becomes defensive, then they're probably doing something that they're not supposed to. What they should be doing is trying to put your mind at ease and make you feel comfortable about the situation, if they really care about your feelings. So yeah, that's extremely important. Communication. Whenever you feel something is wrong, say something, and don't ever let anybody ever make you feel that what you're feeling or thinking is crazy, because you're not. You know, intuition always tells you, you know, basically, you know, what's going on. So yeah, let's just get into the next one. Number 2 is take time for yourself. So, you know, initially when the situation happens, you know, instead of you kind of going off, step back, completely step back. Evaluate the situation, take time for yourself, think, process your emotions. You know, don't just react, because you're gonna end up saying things that you don't necessarily mean, you know, and nobody really wants to do that. So I think that's important, taking time to yourself. Next one is value and forgiveness. So, you know, value and forgiveness, that's important because one, you have to say to yourself, okay, this person did wrong, they want a second chance. What have they done for you? Have they added value to your life? You know, have they picked up the phone every time you are going through something? Has that person supported you? Have they shown you love? You know, when it comes to those kind of things, you have to think about that. That's extremely important when it comes to, you know, forgiving somebody. You don't want to forgive somebody who is actually toxic for you. That's not fun. You're just gonna end up going through the same things. And another thing I would like to say is, especially in my generation, because, you know, I'm in my 20s, you know, I'm going into my mid-20s, especially in my generation, people tend to hold on to relationships that have lasted long. That does not work. Just because you've been in a relationship with somebody for 3 years, just because you've been in a relationship with somebody for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, just because you've had a friendship with somebody for like 2 years, you know, 10 years plus, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to deal with the crap because you've been with them for a long period of time. You know, that I will say, and it's easier said than done, but let me tell you something. The minute that somebody starts disrespecting you, the minute you start having to question that person's loyalty, at that point, pump the brakes completely. The minute you ever feel that something is off, say something, speak up and say something. Next one is learning the lesson from this. So, you know, when they say, you know, you can forgive but you don't forget, that's exactly what I mean. So, you know, you can forgive somebody, but sometimes you just gotta let them go. I forgive you, but I'm gonna send you off and let somebody else deal with you. Putting yourself in toxic situations because it doesn't help. You wanna heal from this. You don't wanna keep going through the same things. So learn your lesson from this. You know, that's important. And also, when it is that you're dealing with your emotions and your feelings, sometimes it creates anger. So if it is that you feel yourself getting angry, or you're sitting with a lot of anger on your chest, you have to release it. You have to find the root of that. So, okay, let's give you an example. Let's just say you were in a relationship, you were in a friendship, and that person broke your trust. They broke your heart, you know? Let's just say they did that, and you have a lot of anger towards it. At least you know where it's coming from. That's the extremely important part, is knowing where it comes from. You know, how you can correct it. A lot of people, they sit in denial. They think that it's the other person, when it really, in all actuality, it's them. Doing what makes you happy. So, I'm not here for the drugs, the alcohol, you know, I'm not really here for the addictions. Nobody wants to get caught up on any of that. But, you know, even if that means going out with your friends, you know, having a good time, laughing, being around people who make you happy, doing new things, experiencing life. Because what I will say is that there is a much bigger world outside of hurt and heartache and trust issues and betrayal. You know, there's so much more to life. There are people out there who are good people, you know. They believe in principle. They believe in morals. They believe in, you know, being fair and honest. So it's like, yeah, do what makes you feel happy. The last one is stay away from people who bring you out of character. That's extremely important. People think nowadays like, oh, well, if this bitch gonna come and say this to me, or this nigga think he gonna say this to me, or whatever. Yes, I understand you want to express your emotions. There are healthy ways that you go about it, you know, that don't resort to violence, especially in this time and age. Listen, we need people. We have, okay? We don't want to kill off anymore. So definitely stay away from people who take you out of character. There are ways for you to communicate and to talk about your feelings. You know, if it is that person is not receiving, you know, they don't really care, karma is going to deal with them. Karma will deal with them. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, it may not be a year from now, it may not be 2 years from now, but just know that karma will take care of them. So that's extremely important. These things are all easier said than done. You know, it took me time on all these things, and I'm not saying that it's gonna happen overnight where your heart is gonna heal, but let me tell you something. Whenever you see something and it don't feel right to you, you stand up and you say, yo, then you're foul, and you take your space, you communicate, you tell them how you feel. You process your emotions. Is this person of any value to me? You know, do they deserve another chance? You know, does this person add anything to your life? I think when it comes to that, you have to take those things into consideration, because what you don't want to do is forgive somebody and then you end up in the same situations again, you know? So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and basically share with you guys some tips of how to deal with this. At the end of the video, if you guys like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, turn on your bell notifications so that, you know, whenever it is that I drop anything, that you guys are able to see it. Anyways, peace.